Hi there everyone, welcome to the second video in the MR2 restoration series, and today we're going to be doing some welding and rust repair. So given my car is 40 years old, there's quite a lot of rust spots. There's some spots on the boot lip, underneath the weather seal. There's quite a lot of spots around that little area. Underneath the passenger side dash, there's like a hole like where your leg would be, like right here. There's got quite a lot of rust on there, so I'm going to cut that out and weld that plate for that. The AB pillars, they've got quite a lot of work to be done structurally wise, because it used to be a T-top, so it used to be didn't have that like structure there, and now it's been swapped for a solid top by the previous owner and didn't finish the job, so I got to weld that up. But yeah, welding. Okay, so this is my process. 1, I identify the rust. 2, I cut the rust out with an angle grinder. 3, I use CAD, cardboard aided design, to mock up a repair panel. 4, I copy the cardboard template onto a piece of metal and cut that out. 5, tack the piece or pieces into place and make any modifications. 6, fully weld them to the car. 7, grind back the shoddy weld, because grinder and paint makes me the welder I ain't. 8, spray it over with a 1K epoxy etch primer to prevent it from rusting again. Now that you know my process, let's get into the unboxing. So, updates. We got metal. I injured my fingy because I'm an actual wing nut. Yeah, dropping it into the ute, sliced the finger. Not good. Got a welder. Got some gas for it as well. So, this is a kit that comes with like a angle grinder, the welding unit itself. We got 2 welding wires. We got gas and gasless. We got some pliers. We got some magnets, discs, gloves, bunch of stuff, and a helmet. Pretty cool. Can't wait to start going around welding up the MR2. It's gonna be so sick. Got a tight deadline though. I've got 4 weeks to have that fully welded, including all of these panels here that I've made with cardboard. I've done a bit on here as well, and these pieces need to go on the corners on the inside. And I've got 4 weeks to do all that, and I've welded once before in like year 10, so yeah, it's gonna be fun. Alright, now that we have our tools and process, we can start welding this car back together. Those bits that are rusty, like that one, and there as well. So time lapse of that should be playing now. So we've done some cutouts. We've got cutout there, cutout right here, cutout right here. You can see like the line on the bottom of the boot. A cutout back there, and a small cutout back there. Alright, small progress update. We have got some welding on the boot going well.
3 days later.
So we have finished the boot rust repair. Everything's all nice and cleaned up. I got some epoxy primer on there, just some 1K, just to stop it from rusting whilst I do the rest of the steps that I need to do. The welds aren't the prettiest, but get some body filler in there on top of that. Should be right. Nice. we got this bit I need to cut out a little bit more, and then I'm going to start doing the rust repairs on that. Okay, new plan. Cutting from that corner across. I'll fill in a piece of metal there, and then I'll just get one chunk that goes from there to there to there, fucking that. And then I gotta worry about the rest of the hole. So all of this, where my finger is right now, all that needs to get filled in. I've got some pieces, but I'm not sure if they'll fit. And then there's a tiny, tiny hole right there. But right now I'm just gonna cut from there to there and get that shit out.
Three days later.
Ladies and gentlemen, this section has been completed. Last update, the MR2 was there. It's no longer there because it's moved. It's moved over here. Got this space for the MR2. Little shed for it, my tools. So all it is just a bunch of grinding, welding, grinding. Get something like that. Does the job, doesn't look the greatest, I'm aware of that. But hey, no one's ever gonna see that as long as it structure. Alright, so whilst we are waiting, whilst I'm working on the patch for that hole there, I started to figure out about this bracing part. Now, that doesn't quite fit up to there, because you can see this little alignment line there has no alignment line there, and if I align it up like that, you can see it doesn't fit. So you can see I've marked out some lines to cut out, because it's this cross brace here, because I believe that this wasn't a part of the T-top, or maybe it was, because this roof used to be a T-top and then the previous owner converted it. So now I'm just wondering, get this, because I do want some reinforcement in there. Yeah, I'll give this a cut. Okay, it looks like my plan will work, but I just need to cut off a little bit more, so you can see I've marked out some more of the marker just on these bits here and just a little bit there, and hopefully I can just weld over this bit for the cross member, or just leave it like that. I don't know, figure it out later, but just gotta get fitment correct now. Coming along well. The good news is it fits and lines up a lot better than it did before. It needs a little bit of smacking in place just to get it fully in there, but getting there. And obviously that pillar now is not in the way of the bracket. I've got two problems right now. Number one is that down there, that is not watertight, and it needs to be because that's a water drain sink thing. Second problem, the interior relies on oval shaped clips like this, so this oval has to align with that oval, and that's a bit of a pain in the ass right now. Tiny issue that I've run into with the B-pillar supports. That one down there, he's all good to go. I've put him in position, but this one, the other side one, right? That one's quite a bit out from the existing hole. It's that way and it needs to go that way, so I'm thinking of doing a few cuts to make this a little bit easier to bend. Not all three, but because I misdrew one, but we'll see. Yeah, the other option I can think of is, I think that's the best option, is to just bend that, because this piece here is what's stopping me from pushing it that way right now. So if I can bend that back, I can push it forwards. Anyway, that's my idea, but things are coming along. Yeah, that piece is almost ready to be done. It just needs to be tacked in, G-clamps, and yeah. Did a little bit more of welding on the B-pillar support. I will try and do a little bit more, probably off camera, because my GoPro keeps on dying at 60%, which is bloody lovely, but as you can see, filled in some spot welds. I'm not quite sure what to do about that right hand side, because it's a bit of a pain in the ass to get to, and also the top section. Bottom section and left hand side looking decent though. Yeah. And then once I do all that, I'm going to be happy, and then I'm going to realise I have to do that section as well, like the other side of the car. It's just a bit, for f***'s sake. Oh well. I've done most of, I'm just going to say hopefully all of the welding for the both B-pillars. It's finally done. Getting them cleaned up now with a angle grinder. Just getting them to be, you know, grinded back so they don't interfere with anything else. Shiny, and then I'll spray over them with enamel paint just to prevent rust. And I'm also going to clean up some of the A-pillar supports which were already welded in. And then maybe do some cleaning up of the underside passenger. And then I've got a couple of spots to weld up on the other side along this door line here. there's just miscellaneous holes in there. So I've finished welding everything, I've finished grinding down everything, and now it is just time to spray it with enamel so it doesn't rust over, and that's about it. I've got this looking a little bit shinier, a little bit ground back. A pillar, B pillar, B pillar, A pillar. You join me with a hammer and a chisel because I found more body filler. It used to just go up to like there, and now there's this hole here which is curved. It's going to make my life so much more difficult. And I've just been hammering away. You can see the pink stuff is the body filler right there, and there's surface rust behind there. I've tapped it a bunch, so it's not like proper rust, but it's not looking good.
Huh?
That hole doesn't seem to stop, and that hole's going to make things so much worse. I was like, oh, you know, that bit there, that seems a little bit difficult, so I'll just, you know, move over to this section. I've thinking that one was actually easier now, because oh yeah, I'll start on the easy one, get some. So we've got a cardboard aided design template. We're gonna go cut out a metal, and then we'll get the other side done as well, and we'll worry about this giant dent later. So I've gone to go tack this piece in right here, just into that bit. However, I have run out of gas. That's empty, so we're gonna have to go refill it. Store's closed, so I have to go get it tomorrow, but it is what it is. I might head under there and grab the vacuum and just, because there's a bunch of spiders under there, like. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but especially at the front there, there's a couple of spiders I want to get rid of. Yep. Anyways, unfortunately the gas is run out, but it is what it is. my face when the battery powered angle grinder dies. I have to get up from the comfy position that I'm sitting in. Back. Anyways, going pretty good, looking pretty nice. Don't know what to do about this bottom bit. I could just weld it at the top there, or I could get another piece of metal that goes from there down to there and then weld at the bottom. Oh. I've discovered fire. Alright, so the plan with this is I'm gonna get a small bit of chain, just weld it to that little bracket that I've made, and then on the other side of the chain I'll attach it to the sledgehammer, and if I can just try and swing it hard enough, hopefully it'll just come undone. So yeah, I'm gonna get to work on that, and then I'll record some of it and we'll do a little bit of a, I don't know, montage. We'll see. Cool. That's welded on now. Something's going wrong with my welder settings. I think I have too much gas, but I'm not sure. Either way, it's on. I'm going to heat the area around it, and then yank. It's ready. Alright, we're just going to heat up the exterior, like the surrounding pieces, and then we'll give it a big swing. Almost worked. Well, that's suboptimal. It got the dent out, but I'm going to have to repatch that. So, because I pulled the shit out of the metal, I'm going to try and re-weld it and then try and push it back in and then try and grab the low spots out, because I think it's still more than a 5mm depth. Obviously that's not 5mm, but yeah. So that's a high spot there, and then we've still got a low spot there and maybe there, or just there maybe. Yeah, you can see low spot, high spot there, push that in, bring that bit out. Right, so now that it's nice and hot, I'm gonna just try and shit. Right, so that didn't work. Try again in a couple days, because it's getting quite late and I don't want to piss off the neighbours. This is a pain. Oh well. See you next time. So that's where I'll leave you today. I'll be working away at the dent, prepping the inner surfaces for paint prep, and I'll see you next time, hopefully in the not so distant future, with some more progress. Thank you everyone for watching.
I just want to say a huge thank you to my friends and family.
And I'll see you next time, hopefully with some paint prep and some body filler done, ready to get this chassis painted. Goodbye.